Good, thanks, Linda. Good afternoon, everyone. Firstly, thank you very much to World Potato Congress and also Potato Council for asking me and giving me the opportunity to speak to you all today. Much appreciated. As you can see from the slide, I'm Chief Executive of Greenvale. I'm not going to talk to you about Greenvale today. I want to give you sort of narrowing down the subject. Linda's set a macroeconomic sort of picture and looking at the industry going forward, some of the challenges we face. But I'm going to bring it down to sort of a narrower industry perspective. I've only got 5 minutes, so I'm going to go through this quite quickly. I've not got too much to put in front of you. And I think what I'm going to do is show you some data that's applicable to the UK, but I think we could extrapolate in other Western and developed economies and say similar trends will be happening wherever we look in the Western developed world. This is the UK potato consumption graph, and you can see the top line is the one that I'm particularly interested in here. In the last decade, we've seen potato consumption, total potato consumption in the UK, actually reduce circa 12 to 15%. You can see we were well over 110 kilos per head. If you went back 10, 12 years ago, we're now sitting somewhere in the mid-90s. That's a challenge whether you're in the fresh industry, that's a challenge whether you're in the process industry, it's a challenge for us all, it's a challenge for everybody in this room today and who's been here over the last couple of days. You can see that the process sector has fared somewhat better than the fresh sector, and I think if we acknowledge what's happening in convenience and people's time and how people eat and shop now, we can understand why that is. You did hear Nick Vermont from McCain say that there was a dip in the 2007, 2006 where process slipped a bit. We actually in the fresh sector gained some ground, but the reality is there's been a decline in fresh since and process has gained ground. But the important thing here is the top line, the black line at the very top. If I move on then to the next slide, I'm here just looking at some of the factors that really affect the market, some of the macro factors that affect the market that we all work and operate within. We've got changing consumer profiles. People are living to a greater age. Demographics obviously are changing as time goes on, but interestingly I think we've just entered a new era in the world, certainly in the Western world, where people are going to have to not live longer, they're going to have to work a bit longer. I'm sure you all agree with that. Things have changed out there for people, and retirement's not going to come so easy to many. With that, there may well become a demand for continued convenience, less time to perhaps cook at home. Shoppers in the economy, well, I don't need to tell you, but since 2007, 2008, we've had some great challenges in the economy. People are actually finding things very difficult out there. The recession has hit the Western world. Some have coped with it better than others, but the fact is people's shopping habits all over have and will continue to be affected. Climate does play an influence, does have an effect, not just in what we produce and how we produce it, but actually how people consume products as well. And if I went back 15, 20 years to when I was a younger lad and was at home with a family, we didn't have barbecues, we didn't eat salad potatoes, we didn't eat the level of salads we do now. We certainly didn't eat the convenient products that you can buy in the stores today. It was always tend to be mashed potatoes, meat and 2 veg. Things have moved on. This possibly the most pertinent point in this slide. Eating habits have definitely changed, certainly for the younger generations, definitely in the UK. We've seen the arrival of much more accepted, the ethnic cuisines that we all enjoy, be it curries, be it Chinese food, be it pizza, pasta, whatever. I know myself, I love going out with a curry. I work with a bunch of guys in Greenvale. We're all passionate about the potato business, but we do tend to have a curry whenever we get the chance at night, So we're all involved in this changing habit. It's something that we've got to counteract in this industry. Price and promotions, we've seen a proliferation of promotions because of the economy, because of the way people have to shop now. They have to watch how they spend their money and get best value for money. People are shopping promotions more than they ever have done. And on the back of that, we've seen more promotional activity in retail than we've probably ever seen in the history of major retailers as we know today. And then finally here, the changing retail environment. More and more people now are shopping online. And I put this slot up here just to show you that we've got to think about how people shop. We've got to think about how the future consumer shops. If you ask the largest retailer in the UK today, Tesco would tell you it's 6%. It doesn't sound a lot, but 6% of the produce they sell now they sell online. That's quite a staggering figure. Now, that can be a challenge, but it can also be a fantastic opportunity, because we mentioned yesterday about the health benefits of potatoes, and we need to get across talking about provenance, etc., etc. What more can we do online to engage with the consumer more than we can currently engage with them on the shop shelf? Innovation, certainly in the added value categories, has led to some significant growth. We looked at the processing curve just a few seconds ago. The menu there from Waitrose, the creamy mash, is just an indication of some of the products that you get now in what they call the fresh chilled, or the chilled sector, chilled cabinet. And you can see we've got significant growth there. There's a nearly 10% value growth, but actually 7% volume growth. That sector in the UK retail stream now is worth something like 200k per annum, 200,000 per annum, which has grown significantly from where it was a few years ago. So there's been great growth. The McCain's Baker product, you heard Nick Vermont talk to you yesterday about one of their latest launch, and this is a baker product they've brought to the market that's had some great success. And again, you can see been good value growth, but actually volume growth in the frozen category is not so easy to come by. But these are great innovations, and this is definitely the way people are looking to shop. The fresh chilled market, the chilled, ready to cook, be it wedges, be it baby potatoes with butter and herbs, etc., etc., mashes ready to eat, that definitely is seeing significant growth. And I think that's the way people are looking to shop. However, if I go back to the fresh sector, where brands have predominated in the frozen category for some years, and we've heard from McCain's in the last couple of days, and we all know the McCain's brand, we all know and recognise McCain's oven chips. But what we are seeing now is in fresh, there's definitely brand and some brand influence coming into the fresh sector, and it's adding an overall excitement to the fresh sector that I think is needed. And I think this will continue over some time. The Jersey Royal brand, or the Jersey Royal potato, effectively, that comes up from the islands of Jersey, was probably seen as the only true brand in the UK fresh potato category for many years. However, as you heard from Ronnie Bartlett yesterday, Ronnie and his business very successfully introduced a brand to the category a number of years ago, and that brand's gone from strength to strength. And what that's proven to the rest of us in the industry is there is actually an opportunity there. There is a way to bring some excitement back into the fresh category. For sure, own label will probably predominate, but brands can play the part. And very recently, we've actually put a brand onto the shelves in our own right. Commonality here, I think, between all these products is, it was mentioned yesterday by Ronnie, if you're going to buy one of these products, you've got to enjoy it and have a quality and a consistent eating experience. And I think all three of these products will deliver that. And if they're going to survive, they're going to have to deliver that. But I think there's more out there, but there's some great examples of the work that's gone on. Some that's proven, well worked, and some that's very new to market. Right, last slide from me. We really do need to use all the drivers, all the levers we've got in the industry to bring people back into the potato category, to stop people leaving the potato category, to make sure people buy our products and they don't necessarily want to cook rice, they don't want to cook pizza or indeed pasta in their homes. We know that the potato is a convenient product. We don't get that message across. There's more work to do. We've looked at some convenience work there, but a fresh baby potato, a small baby potato can be a very convenient potato. You can cook these in 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, and have a very healthy and an enjoyable meal experience. We've got to compete collectively, whether you're in the fresh, chilled, frozen sector, we've got to compete with the alternative carbohydrates. There is some good work going on, but there's obviously a lot more to do. Yesterday, there was a lot of mention about the health positioning and the health messaging in the potato crop and the benefits that the potato crop brings, reference health. And I think there's a recognition we as an industry have struggled. We really struggle to get that message across. We know that potatoes are a wonderful source of vitamin C, vitamin B12, folate, potassium, dietary fiber, just to name but a few things. There's great benefit to be had by eating potatoes in whatever form. An example of work that we'd like to do and would try to do in the UK is, could we get potatoes onto the Department of Health 5 a day recommendation? Because if we made it 6 a day and one of your products could be potatoes, I think we could see a step change in this industry and a real engagement with the public to recognise actually potatoes are better for us than we realise. But there's a lot of work to do in that. New varieties. selecting rather than just economic yield, rather than disease resistance as we perhaps looked for in the old days. I think now the recognition is we've got to select varieties for lots of different attributes, but certainly for flavour, for taste. If we don't enjoy the product, if the consumer doesn't enjoy the product we give them, the chances are they're going to go and look for something that's different out there, something that they do enjoy. So flavour and taste in breeding programmes has become absolute paramount. And there's some great examples. There's some wonderful new varieties coming onto the market, be it in whatever category in the fresh side you look at, that have fantastic taste and really are a pleasure to eat and better than some of what we've been used to historically. So there's some good work going on there, but there's obviously an awful lot further to go. And then my last bullet, I'll just finish, it's probably quite a good lead-in for Mark. GM, the GM debate rages, but I think we heard yesterday that the world's population is going to increase by a billion from 7 to 8 billion in the next 13 to 14 years. If we as an industry or if we as a people or populists believe we're going to feed the world without GM at some point, I think we're all kidding ourselves. However, perhaps we have to use a health benefit. We have to get the GM acceptance with the consumer by a different, using certain levers, and perhaps an improved health potato or an additional benefit from higher health potatoes would be one lever, positive lever that the consumer could hang on to and push forward. But I think GM, whether it's through just sheer economic pressure or indeed it's through the higher health, I think it will become a reality. But no doubt Mark will have a view on that. Anyway, thank you very much. Thank you very much.